Wow. I mean, this is really, really interesting because I feel like, again, you're like very much the non-traditional Asian American student and yet went to Cornell.
Yeah.
Which again, honestly, the fact that you had focus and it was very clear from your applications what you were interested and focused on,
Mhm.
I think really helped you in the application process. Because when I talk with the a lot of high school students, they don't know. I mean, maybe they have some idea of like the typical like computer science or
Mhm.
medicine or engineering. Like I like every year I see somebody who just says that they're interested in that. And I don't know if it's a genuine desire
Mhm.
to want to study that or if it's just what they're supposed to say or what their parents want them to say. And therefore they're all, their entire high school career is just focused on trying to get into that school or those schools so
Right.
that once they're there, they feel like life is set. But I feel like, again, I always tell these students, look, put yourself in the admissions person's,
Mhm.
seat. You're reading so many of these applications, and everybody has the same activities, the same positions, like, again, not to take anything away from how difficult it is or how much time and energy it takes to do it, but if everybody's doing the same thing, trying to play the same game to try to get in, like you just get lost in the crowd. Whereas
Right, right.
if I got an
Exactly.
application like you, who was like, oh, okay. I mean, to be honest, I feel like if I saw somebody with what was your weighted? Like 4 point, was it?
It was like 4.2 or 4.3,
Okay.
something.
And then what's the highest that you can get?
I mean, some of my friends had like a 4.6
Okay.
or up to
Okay. Okay.
4.3.
My, I mean, I'm old. We didn't have weighted
Hmm.
when back in the day. So if I saw something, if a GPA was like lower, let's say, than the typical high
Right.
GPAs, to be honest, as an application reader, I mean, if I'm not an application reader, I'm just
Right, right.
thinking out loud. If I'm reading thousands and thousands of applications, and I see somebody who has that honestly makes me want to pay attention a little bit more just to figure out like, okay, well, why are they applying?
Yeah.
And then I see, how non-traditional you are. And
Mhm.
I mean, what were your essays about? You said
Actually my
cooking, but like what specifically?
yeah, yeah. So my personal essay was about it was kind of touching on like an identity crisis. I before growing up in Portland, I grew up in a small town south called Corvallis, college town. Um, I was like the only Asian, maybe four other families and the whole school that I attended.
Hmm.
And then so just, that kind of crisis that I was experiencing, and then I kind of painted that crisis through a dish, like a kimchi chicken quesadilla that I made. And so like it was just yeah, I even my philosophy is like when writing an essay, it's just like I never like to toot my own horn. It just I feel so cringe or just something feels wrong inside.
Hmm.
And I try to take this really artistic route where, like you said, if you don't want to get lost in the crowd, right? And if everyone's writing an essay and like you write a poem, right? You're gonna be like, what the heck? Who writes a poem? But it's still gonna stick out one way, right? I'm a huge risk taker in that way. And so I just wrote about me cooking a kimchi chicken quesadilla and then feeding it to my brother. And then I was talking about like the different flavors and the colors and like the art that I saw in that,
Mm.
and kind of showing how that's the product of my whole childhood and some traumas and experiences that I've
Ah, okay. Okay.
had.
Wow. Wow, that's really interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so again, if I saw an essay like that, right, versus somebody who, you know, 'cause I don't want to I've read a lot of essays, so I don't want to call anyone out specifically, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think that definitely gives a more fuller or just a more unique picture, of somebody who is not just the typical Asian student.